Well, if you haven't seen my unboxing video of my fantasy kicks from the Mertailor, go ahead and check that out. If you have seen it, you're watching this video because you want to see me swim in them. I have to just say right off the bat, I like them a lot. And I actually got to swim with a couple mermaids from my pod. One of them is moving a few hours away and we won't see her as much. So, you know, thought we could all have a fun time. And you get to see that footage now. So, keep watching. I had a few things to say after that swim. So we were actually at the pool there for 6 hours. We went there from noon to 1 for the adult swim and ended up staying until 6 p.m., 6:30ish. I did take a few breaks because if you've been following me much, you know I have some issues with my left ankle. That is permanent damage, and that makes being very physical for me rather painful. So I had to take breaks. A couple of things that I tried out with these fins. When I first put them on, I actually wore a pair of compression socks, hoping that might help my ankle in the long run. It did not. And I took a small break in the afternoon from wearing the fins. I just want to like show them off a little bit. I took a small break in the afternoon, had like a snack, you know, some lunch, whatever, and then tried them again barefoot. Also, when I put them on, this is why I'm taking the bag off, right? I'm explaining something. Love that mesh bag, it's awesome, it's so great. So, when I first put them on, I used as left and right, so they were like this. You're in a configuration like this. You can kick like this, or you can kick like this. But that longer part is extra weight. So I actually flipped it around when I did the barefoot version instead of the socks. And I actually had them like this, with the long tails in the middle. And for how my feet work and how my legs work, the weight distribution was better. I also realized it's kind of like having a big toe. You have your big toe towards the middle of your body. And your pinky toe, rude. Your pinky toe is towards the outside of your body. So that kind of just made like anatomical sense to me too. Yeah. I felt like a frog in that video, especially in my suit. I look like a frog in my opinion. Nothing wrong with frogs, they're pretty cool. They're amphibious. And mermaids, we know, are amphibious. Like, no one's gonna talk about this, but they are. So, I love them. Did you see how sparkly they were in the sunshine? Like, oh my gosh. So, one thing that I was really surprised by, Raina and Sean, you were not joking when you said that they've got kicked, they've got pushed. Like, I think it comes from just them being so thick. I mean, the silicone on the outside here, it's like 1.5 inches. 1.25 inches, somewhere in there. And then like even in the thinner parts, it's not very thin. I think the very thinnest part is like at the edge here, and it's about 1/2 inch, which for silicone is pretty thick. I did also want to address the sizing. So I've had the Fantasy 1, Fantasy 2, and Fantasy 3 fin. I have not tried the Fantasy 4. I did notice sizing differences from the 1 to the 2 to the 3. Excuse me, my sweater is choking. And what I noticed is that with the 1, the foot pockets, those ones fit me perfectly. And I have bizarre feet, okay? Just take this all with a grain of salt. Everyone's feet are different. You need to measure your feet before you order. You need to measure from the back of your heel to the front of your big toe. And you should measure at the widest part of your foot. And then you should measure with your feet flat on the ground from the floor to the very tippy top of your foot closest to like where it bends at your ankle. Going by those measurements, my feet are 9.25 inch long, they're exactly 4 inch wide, and they're 3 inches tall. That's a high volume foot, and have high arches. Like your arch on the bottom of your foot, I'm not talking about the top of your foot. Some people have a high arch and a flat top. So these are a size small. They fit me like a size medium. The size small of the Fantasy 1 fit me exactly perfectly. The size small of the Fantasy 2 actually cut off circulation, and I had to sell that fin and get a medium, which was a bit big, but not big enough for me to wear socks because of my 3-foot thick foot. And then the Fantasea 3 fits me the most perfectly after the Fantasea 1. It's a little bit, rubs a little bit on the top of my foot, but as far as the length, it's exactly perfect. These are actually a little bit big all around, but they still stay on really well. I was surprised. With the socks on, it kind of gave it something to grip, but I noticed I had more comfort being barefoot. So I think that's just going to be something that's different for everybody, and that's okay. I'll be honest, these might be my favorite thing that Eric's ever come out with. I will also say I have, like I've mentioned earlier, physical issues of my own, and I learned that I have very weak knees. Did not know this about myself because I compensate in other ways. So I'm actually using these to build up my knee strength. I have other mermaids I know. I don't remember your mermaid name though. Sandra from Germany. Oh, I'm blanking on your Instagram name. Sorry, but if you're watching this and you know who I am, who I'm talking to, I know you had a knee issue, and I don't know if I would recommend these for people who have knee issues, unless you're going to be extremely careful and learn what you can and cannot handle, and don't push yourself, okay? I had originally gotten these as a tool to help me gain back strength in my ankle, and didn't realize just how much it put strain on the knees as well. So there were times, sometimes taking those breaks yesterday was to not stress my knee, which I was like, usually it's my ankle giving me trouble. And I found kicking with 2 legs, I haven't done that in years, so I'm not used to that, and then each having to be strong on their own. It definitely is the best flow out of the 2. You get more propulsion. At least I found that to be true. And then when I kicked with my legs together, it's still good propulsion, okay? But it's just different propulsion. And I would kick with my legs together so I could have my knees next to each other while I'm kicking, and they were kind of supporting each other. So I did that if my knee was bothering me. When my knee was bothering me. I also just love the details on these things. They're so pretty. So, I definitely recommend them. I don't know if I say that enough. So comfortable, easy to carry. Like they're so. I'm so used to the 3 and like not being able to like. It's still sitting on the floor out of the camera shot here from a week ago of swimming at the lake, which we never got footage of. Really not good footage because it was very cloudy. The water was cloudy from storms and stuff. But yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below. I don't know if I can answer them personally, but I'll try, or direct you to someone who can answer. I loved Raina's and Sean's video of their review of these, because they got Sean's first and enjoyed them, and then Raina got hers and got to unbox them on their review video. That was really fun. And now I'm looking at new swimming outfits to wear with this, because, you know, new wardrobe for my new shoe. Yeah. I let a couple mermaid friends try them out at the pool yesterday, and my nephew who was with us, he's 7. These were a bit big on him, and it not a good first starter for a young kid, I don't think. He actually tried the Luna fin yesterday, and he's hooked. I mean, he's a natural. I'm just so excited about that. I had to convince his parents now. Yay, being the fun auntie. So yeah. Again, I highly recommend. They're super great, super comfortable. Please measure your feet. Please be careful. Oh, I do also want to say, because I noticed in my unboxing video that I almost did this. When you're putting these on, you want to stick your foot all the way inside the foot pocket, wiggle your foot in. I find it's easier in shallow water to stand on them, like stand up in them and kind of inchworm my foot into it. And then gently, once it's all the way in, pull the heel strap, just gently kind of put it up over your heel. I accidentally tried pulling on it to pull on the fin. I know, it's a big no-no, I know. And I heard a little pop. So there's a mesh material in here that is that gives it extra support and strength, kind of reinforcement, that's the word. And I heard just a little stitch pop, and luckily nothing ripped. I immediately stopped myself from moving. But yeah, they're so ooh, I didn't, they're so cute like this too. They're so pretty and I love them. Eric is the best, and I'm glad I jumped on buying them because my page. So yeah, I hope to get more swimming time in them before the summer's totally over and our pool are closed. That was the other thing. These arrived like 2 or 3 weeks before I thought they would. So yeah, and they're so cute when they match up. Like, how easy is this to travel with? So they come in this beautiful mesh bag. Mine wasn't inside it, and it's Eric's old print, which I just love. And yeah, and then there's a plastic bag that has like a drawstring that's great for like when your stuff's all wet and you don't want everything in your bag getting wet. Like some suits are no fun. Or tails. It actually could fit like a whimsy tail very easily. So I haven't been wearing my whimsy tail because it takes a lot of physical endurance and strength to deal with it after the swim. I always am looking at like ease of care post swimming, because that's when I'm the most vulnerable and tired, and I'll even like take a day or two to not do care, which if you want things to last and be taken care of properly, I don't recommend doing that. So if I don't recommend it, why would I do it? There we go. Now they're in their little home. Cute little thing. I love that even the strap says Mertailor. So yeah. Thank you so much again for watching. I know I've been rambling now the last few minutes, but thank you.
Love, 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 I wanna be strong, strong.